What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another live chat with the boys. It's Junkyard Breaks. Welcome. You see, we have a special guest today, CGL Collectibles. What's the full name? I want everybody to be able to find you.
CGL's New Jersey Collectibles.
New Jersey Collectibles. The link is in the title, so you can find him there. Chris and I have become friends. I am a dealer, and Chris was a buyer. Now Chris is a dealer, and he's selling his own stuff and doing pretty good at it. But yeah, Chris and his dad, they got a nice channel. Congratulations, 2,000 subscribers. Very nice. And yeah, you've been finding some really cool stuff out and about.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's been about a year since we've met, because I remember I met you last summer. My friends and I got really into the sports card scene.
Yeah.
And so I drug them to the flea market one day, and you were set up there. I think it was like the first time I ever bought from you. And ever since then, it's just been weekly transactions.
Yeah, I want to say it was, I think my first year, it was April I started. So yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
April last year.
About right.
And then obviously you guys were there. You were daily buyers anyway, so you were there from the get-go. But yeah. But not only that, like, I got to say, like, even you and me and, you know, we've met Erod, we met Hernando and Will, and, like, you know, our community of our little fellowship of comic dealers and buyers has grown quite substantially.
And not only has it grown, but it's one of the best flea markets in the general vicinity for collectibles. I mean, I get horror stories from other people in my comment section. I live here, and I don't have a flea market within 2 hours of my house. How do I find this kind of stuff? And it's like, we're lucky. We are very lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I always say to everybody, you want to find stuff, Meadowlands is the place, because they're all storage locker clean out guys that they have new stuff every week. So, and they just throw stuff out on the ground and in boxes and totes, and they're like, go ahead, go through it, and they quote you a price, and you can find some gems. I found some pretty good books. You have found some pretty good books. But yeah, and not only that, you know, early you got those guys coming in from the city. They got a lot of money.
Yeah, it's great because we're there. It attracts high quality buyers, so you can bring higher quality stuff, and it's a nice mix of everything.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't blow away in the wind.
The Meadowlands wind.
The Meadowlands wind. But yeah, welcome.
Good to be here.
It's all the hot air coming from Giant Stadium.
Yeah, well, it is. You know, I got to tell you, last week was hot, but I had a nice breeze going. Oh, Chris, that reminds me, because you are on my spot, you can bring a tent because you're under my insurance now.
Well, we got the insurance thing figured out also, so
you didn't even have to, because that was for your spot. Now you're in my spot, so you're good.
That's
you're covered.
Easy. Awesome.
Tent it up, as long as it doesn't rain, because now it looks like there's thunderstorms on Sunday.
Possibility of rain.
Yeah.
It's always something.
All right.
Are you guys going to be there this weekend?
The plan was, yeah. I mean, me and Chris just bought for August, so except for the 13th. The 13th they're closed for another concert or monster truck rally or whatever the hell it is.
Monster truck rally, wow.
There was that one time they're like, everybody out of here by 2 o'clock. There's a monster truck rally. Get out.
It could be a preseason game at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it certainly could be.
I saw a Eagles Nation post the other day that the Giants were eliminated from playoff contention already for this season.
Look, I was at the Giants training camp yesterday, and I can't tell if the defense looked really good or the offense looked really bad. It was one or the other.
It was one or the other, yeah.
One or the other. All right, so what do you want to do first? We don't have Jimmy, so we don't have news.
Yeah.
So
I do have one piece of news.
Oh, yeah, give me your news.
I got a piece of news that I found out that made me kind of happy, because I've been, as you guys know, I've been looking for an app that's going to, or some kind of software that I can catalog all my stuff and get values. And what was one of the ones that you had mentioned? It was...
Well, I use Comic Price Guide. What is it, comicpriceguide.com?
is the you one do, and every time I've tried to open that up, you got to send me a link or something, because I open it up and I just get like ads. it doesn't go to anything.
Are you sure you're going to the right one?
Yeah. I think.
Unless
Cover Price. Coverprice.com is
I know that
they've
one.
joined forces with CLZ. So in September, if you have the premium on either one, you'll be able to use both. Actually, it's not even using it. Once it goes live, I'll just start getting values.
So what did they do previously? They were linked to Go Collect?
They were linked to Go Collect.
And that's how they did their pricing?
Yeah, but before they even got it really going, that's why you'll still see on CLZ, if you have it, you'll still see a couple things have values. But for the most part, nothing does. So, but it was early on that they dropped the ball with them. So, but now they're teamed up with Cover Price. So that's going to happen in September. But I found that out and I was like, oh, cool. The search ended. I'm just going to hold out until September and see how that works out.
And Jason, you don't use anything for cataloging currently?
I do not. No, I need to though. I mean, obviously, I am a business now, so I need to catalog what I have. The biggest concern for me is that it's $1, $2, and $3 books, and so I need to catalog them as I sort a collection. Because after the fact, it's obviously a lot more work. The nice thing about the CLZ stuff is when you putting stuff in, you can just scan the barcodes. Okay. Yeah, and do they work?
Yeah. For the new stuff.
9 times out of 10.
Okay. So I remember
there's always.
Go ahead.
What's that? Oh, there's a couple variants and stuff like that, but it'll pop up. It'll give you suggestions because apparently some of them are too similar, which I don't understand. I thought they're supposed to be unique barcodes, but it updates as people use it. So the more people choose, which one is which, it remembers and then it stops asking.
I'm showing my age, but in the early days, I used them for a movie catalog, and they sold this. It was called the Scan Cat. It was actually a cat with a scan or like a barcode scanner as its mouth. Mm-hmm. You can scan all the barcodes of everything. That'd be nice if they did do that, but I don't remember when they start putting UPC codes on comics anyway. In the 80s,
when they started UPC codes, would have started with probably when the direct market started, because they would have had to differentiate the two. So
it's someone in the 80s.
Also, UPC codes didn't exist right before a certain point. The general idea of a barcode, because there was no computer to scan the barcodes, there was no barcode.
I thought it was something to do with the comics code that started the barcodes.
No, comics code was about being good for young readers.
Right. So you would have needed a computer system to recognize a barcode. So it would have had to have been somewhere between 75 and 80. So it's probably like 76 the first time barcodes are introduced.
Yeah.
Before that,
UPC
were unique to like NASA and the military and stuff.
1976 was the first barcodes for comics.
Yeah.
There you go. Ask the Google.
Thanks, Google.
Now, Chris, I'm guessing your dad doesn't catalog.
He's got a pencil written book.
Does he really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Wait a minute.
It's better than nothing.
So every time you or your dad buy comics and you go home, he writes it in a book?
You want to see the? I got the book.
Yes, I do.
Give me a second.
It's like his giant friggin' ledger.
That's amazing.
The papers are gonna be folded out the edge like this.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
He needs like a church podium to like.
Because I know that rack, that rack goes pretty far back, like the Ark of the Covenant.
Look like Harry Potter's with the Book of Monsters.
Yeah. I can't wait to see this thing.
So Christopher Dolph has 8 of the 10 this week. So.
Yeah, but like I said, the 2 that I don't are pretty obvious.
Well, the one's really obvious, and I think the other one's super obvious too. The first book on the list, but
that's the book.
This week is the book from.
Look, it does
since I've been born, I've seen this book. So it's at least 20 years old. And he just records everything in here kind of by hand.
Wow. Oh wait, is that a checklist
that he doesn't have, and when he gets it, he scribbles it out.
Oh no kidding! That's pretty
and
awesome.
he's got about 40 titles in here. So
So your dad collects. I know he's got an interesting, like, he likes Richie Rich. He likes like a lot of the Hanna-Barbera stuff. Like,
well, he's a completionist. Then he wants to get
he is
to X to Y or whatever.
But he's also
not as concerned with condition as he is getting every issue.
Right. And he's also like the rest of us too. Like, at some point you're like, do I have this one? I'll buy it anyway. And then you're like, damn, I have this one.
Yep. I swear to God, every single show. I should have brought my book with me. I should have brought my book. He never brings the book, but he always should bring it.
Need to turn it into a spreadsheet.
I asked him if he ever was interested in categorizing by grade just to see what you can upgrade or anything. He's like, I'm not really.
Old school's old school.
The really long wristband.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
The accordions out.
All right, so let's see. There are a couple things for news. Patton Oswalt, I think, accidentally confirmed Eternals 2. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good for Bob.
It's good for Bob. Yeah, it is good. Actually, yeah, it's good for anybody whose Eternals books tanked. And Chris, it's good for you because you got 2 Eternals books, including that price variant in the queue. So yeah, it's good for you.
Bob's Eternals 1 right here.
That's crazy. Yeah. What else? Yeah, nice. Batgirl got canceled. We all know that.
Yeah, that blows.
I don't know. Does it though?
Well, I mean, I have the first appearance of Batgirl, so.
That's true. You might say.
Yeah, like what's like nobody knows why.
It did look like garbage though. So.
It's the reason why is the Discovery is buying Warner Brothers, and because of that, anything that is not an actual motion picture, they're cutting ties with, because this one is not scripted as a motion picture. It's scripted as a series, and they don't want that. They want movies. They want big budget stuff. So they're like
90 million is a big budget.
90 million for a TV show that people won't watch is not good.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And they're saying Michael Keaton also recorded a scene for Aquaman. Whatever that means.
I bought 100. I bought 100 of these Golden Age.
Are you doing that on Whatnot?
Yeah, this week.
So you're selling your oh my
Classics
God.
Illustrated.
Classics Illustrated. Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
They're pretty nice condition, Chris.
Some of them are. These are in pretty good shape.
Chris,
I have a couple that are pretty damn rough.
Chris, does your dad buy Classic Illustrated?
Oh yeah.
He does? Does he have a list? Yeah. You got the book. Anything that
he has a list of Classic Illustrated.
Yeah, I got a ton of them.
You gotta know which Classic Illustrated series.
That's the problem.
Right?
Classic Illustrated is tough because they have like 8 prints of all the original ones, and some of the covers are almost exactly the same except for like a price difference or just like
they're practically identical.
They're all identical. They're tough.
But I'm not asking big money for anything. I'm just trying to get a couple bucks here and there out of it. So.
Chris, do they have an indices that dictates what printing it is, so you actually know?
Inside.
Yes and no.
There's an
inside
cover.
There's
you
tells,
need the year.
But they're all different. So some of them it's like this right here.
That's the first.
Some of it it's just the price. Some of it's how Classics Illustrated's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no index.
Some of it is the back.
Yeah,
What's
on
that?
the inside.
There's no
cover.
index on the inside.
Yeah, there is. It shows the year.
Oh yeah, right down here. But even then, back then, some of the older ones, like Three Musketeers is the first one.
Yeah.
Right? There's about 20 different ones.
Yeah.
So you don't know, and mine's missing a cover.
Well, that doesn't help.
I have it complete without cover. So, like I said, it's just cool to have because it's a 1950s? 31.
Yeah. For the original one?
Early.
Oh, I don't know how the original one.
I think this one was like 50 or 51 or something like that.
It was it? Because that one, I know that one was pretty old because it stopped for a while and then it came back again. I don't know. I read this whole thing on it in one of the Overstreet guides. It was actually pretty interesting. But I have the worst memory.
You're right, Chris. 43.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but then they sat on them for a while, and then the second printing, I think, is in the 50s.
Dang, yo.
Yeah.
But I am going to rid myself of these come hell or high water.
Well, there you go.
Because that's what I bought them for.
So we want to talk about pickups first. You want to do this unboxing? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I want to do Ray's unboxing because, watching this video is probably not his bag, and he wants to watch TV with his wife. So.
Oh, okay.
Is
Ray watching right now?
Ray is watching right now.
Oh, that's Guy Ray.
Hi, Ray.
Hi, Ray.
Hi, Ray. So, short story. Ray is father of a friend of mine from high school, and he has a lot of 90s stuff that he is looking to move, and it's probably a good time to sell those books. So, we sent some things into CGC, the good ones. And the rest of it it's pretty high grade as it is, but nothing worth like submitting. So we'll go with the first one. The first one right on top is What If 105.
Nice.
Very nice. First appearance of Spider-Girl.
I'm trying to remember what you said about this book. I'm gonna say it's a 9.2.
Yeah, this one was the least of the four. So there's your Spider-Girl, slabbed and pretty, Ray, and you got a 9.4.
Nice.
Very nice.
Is that a direct or is it a newsstand?
This is a direct, but let's look up.
I'll do the cover price if you want to.
I'll do. Well, yeah, if you want, I could do GP analysis or cover price.
Yeah, go ahead and do GPA.
So let's see my dashboard.
Sure, that book's still pretty expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good book. It was definitely worth submitting. What If 105. Oops, it would help if I put in 105. Alright, What If 105 in a 9.4 is a $225 book right now.
Nice.
That's really nice. Origin and first appearance of Spider-Girl. There you go. 225 on that one.
200 beans is good.
200 beans is good.
I like 200 beans.
Where is
Like it.
Oh, there's the live stream. All right, next is Superboy number 9. This was a hot book not long ago.
Yeah. What? It'll come back.
It'll definitely come back. So Superboy number 9 is the first appearance of King Shark, which I'm sure they're going to do a sequel to that.
King Shark
Suicide
is a shark. Squad.
So there we go. There's your Superboy number 9.
You said that last book was the the least.
The first book,
condition-wise,
was the lowest quality one. Yes, at a 9. A 9.
Ooh, so at a 9.4, so we only got 2 places to go.
We only got 2 places to go.
9.8, baby, 9.8.
9.6 for you, sir.
Pretty solid.
Sorry, Ray.
I'm gonna say it's 200 at least. No. I'm gonna say it's like $175.
No, only $100 right now. It's dropped a little bit. So in 2021, in August, it was a $150 book. It will get back there again. So right now it's at $73, but it'll get back to the $150.
If James Gunn comes out and does another Suicide Squad and they do another Harley season,
they're definitely going to do another King Shark. Sly Stallone, he was awesome. They're going to do
King Shark is a shark. Did you guys see the animated movies? What is it? What the last one was?
I saw the
Justice
Green Lantern.
League Dark.
I did watch that, and the Green Lantern one I haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah, throughout the whole movie, King Shark only said King Shark is a shark.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he actually says something different, which everyone's like, "Fuck."
It's like if Groot would say something different.
Right.
All right, here we go. Batman Beyond number 2.
Cool.
Second appearance of Batman Beyond.
Either 9.6 or 9.8.
McGinnis.
9.8.
It's either 9.6 or
9.8. 9.8. 9.8. Yeah, baby.
Dang, yo.
9.8.
That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see.
9.8 for a this one after a press came out really nice. So this one in a 9.8, $275.
Holy crap! Nice.
And Batman Beyond's gonna get hotter too, so this book's gonna go up.
$600 for the submission thus far.
Yeah. And last but not least, let's see. This one is #1. Batgirl Adventures #1. Obviously, it's a 9.8, right? Because it's got to be. So yeah, this one, Batgirl Adventures #1, 9.8. This is the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy appearance. This is a really nice book too.
Early Harley book, right?
Early Harley book. Awesome. Definitely worth getting graded.
Thin cover too. That helps.
In a 9.8, the 12-month average is $362.
Nice.
Definitely worth the slab.
Almost a deal on that submission.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
So nice one, Ray. I'll get these to you as soon as possible. And yeah, very nice.
Good deal.
Good deal is right. So that's that. What did you guys get in the mail? What's up, Nicholas?
What did I get in the mail? You want to see what I got in the mail? I had to get one of these.
You're welcome,
because I absolutely had to get one of these.
What did you get?
This Something is Killing the Children short box.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I don't know if you can see very well, but
Chris, did you get your books in yet? That you got from Whatnot?
no, they're showing up tomorrow. I'm so pissed. I was like so hoping they would be here by today, but at any rate, I did. I got jealous of Dolph last week, so
yeah,
I ran out and grabbed that one. I got another A cover. I don't know why, because I wanted it. Got the Platoon Obi-Wan cover.
I like that one.
That one. This one is awesome.
Oh yeah,
Cody.
Yeah, that was good too.
That's awesome. I grabbed an Ant-Man, Scotty Young.
Oh, I didn't get that one.
Did
Rick
have
that
jump
one?
on it. I got the ASM Scotty Young.
Oh, I got that one. I love that one.
This one, I forget the artist's name. I don't remember.
We'll call him Fred.
Fred. We got Fred and the Peach.
I like that cover too. That was
Peach one's pretty good.
Cover.
And then yeah, everything else that I got is
on its way.
Still waiting on. So my older spec stuff is on the way. So now I'm like, "Urgh." You'll have to wait until next week.
All right. Chris?
Or else send pictures.
Jason, who wants to go? What'd you get, Chris?
Stuff. I will say, though, most of my purchases here are in person, not from online.
That's fine.
But this was an eBay score that we found in a lot of just random books. Guy had no idea what he had. And
get out of here.
My dad's specialty is finding stuff like that.
Yeah, just,
he had it.
Random.
He had it about a 3 to 4. It's kind of rough, but it's nice book.
Can we press it? Should we press it?
You know what? It might be worth it. I wonder where we got this one from.
Yep, that looks familiar. I know that price tag. That was new too. I just priced that one.
This has been my theme the past couple weeks. Is just buying anything Marvel horror.
It's a good theme to have.
I got all these at shows and flea markets.
That's a nice cover.
I found a couple Living Mummies a while back. Those are awesome.
Dracula.
I had a guy at the flea market bought all my Living Mummy. He bought all 5 issues that I brought with me. So
yeah,
that was pretty
smart.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the volume 2, right? The Lord of Vampires.
Yep.
It's
a good buy.
That's what I got.
This one's a little rough, but a giant size. Dracula #5. These were not my pulls. These were Dad's pulls from Joe's stand at the flea market last week. He was one of the first guys there. And these are some of our favorite books, are the old Scooby-Doo books. And he was able to find 2 of them. So super, super cool. Especially finding these out in the wild is always a thrill.
They're good money, too. Scooby-Doo is solid.
Yeah, in that condition, they're $10, $20 a book. He got them for $2 a piece.
Definitely.
So,
nice early Aquaman.
Nice early Silver Age Aquaman. Here's another Amazing Spider-Man, but it's got the Mummy crossover in there.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
A really nice condition, World's Finest. Nice Joker on the cover.
Yeah, Silver Age goodness, for sure.
Silver Age. And my last book, another one in rough condition. I rescued this one from Joe's stand, but A Tomb of Dracula, #11.
Definitely.
So, decent condition.
Number 11.
What it was worth.
So close. So close. Goes
You're a
from
month off.
$10 book to a $1,000 book. That's awesome, man.
Pulls.
Nice pickups. All right, Jason.
All right, so you guys already know what's coming. So I went to my cards and games place locally here, and I don't know who prices their books, but I'm glad it's that person that's pricing the books. And this is that first appearance of Sylvie. This book has dropped off a bit, but she's definitely going to be in Loki season 2, and this one is like perfect.
Thanks,
so
Nicholas.
I got that for $4. I got this for $8. Super crisp.
Solid.
I got this newsstand super crisp for $5, which this book is worth at least $30 or $40 at this point in time. They also had issue 7 for $5. And then I was sure this would not be there, but I finally own this book. I finally own this book. So, Chris, for you, CGL Chris, this has been my book that I wanted since I got back into collecting, and they kept telling me just buy it for $80, buy it for $100. I said, nah, this book is going to come to me, as if in a dream, and it did. It did come to me. It was $20. It's really clean, except it's got a funky cut. So it's just an error in the cutting, but
is it downhill?
Little extra on the top, and then you can see it's trimmed a little. It was not trimmed, but it was printed a little short on the bottom here.
I wonder how they get you on that. If they do get you, I'm sure they will.
But there is actually no spine ticks on this book, and it is super clean.
Cool.
So
Very cool.
I was really excited about that. And then I also got this one for $5.
I love that cover.
Really heating up. Now this one though, when I got it home, it looks gorgeous from the front. It's not water damage, but there is at the manufacturer must have got caught in the press. There's like multiple small tears on the back on this bottom edge. So it's annoying, but I really got such good deals. I mean, like I can't really obviously complain. So
yeah.
So I was just super stoked to finally own.
You did it, man. You got your book.
I got my book, so
very cool.
My remember how I said that Lethal Protector could have been a black?
Yeah.
Nah, it's just a regular.
A weird picture.
Just a bad picture. And in fact, there was a lot of things they didn't say about the condition of the book that was a little deceiving. There's like somebody spilt their ice cream cone on the cover. It looks like there's like chocolate dripping down the front. So, that's where that goes. That was like $14. But my big buy, I think you might have seen it on Instagram. These eBay cases are really nice. So this is your eBay authentication. Anytime you spend over $400, they have it authenticated. It comes in this magnet thing. But I got a super short print J-Rod.
That is
my big card. That is V card for J-Rod if you're going to get him. He's hurt right now, but this card is, put this one away, and this will be as big as the Trout in a few years. Like, it could be. That is a nice card.
Wow.
What's up, Mars? How you doing? So, yeah, that's it for the buys. I didn't get much. I've been mostly selling Richard's stuff. Like, everything behind me is just, like, staged to sell. He had a Lord of the Rings... a hobby box, guaranteed auto. I sold it for $1,200.
That's awesome.
I had no idea it was on eBay. I finally got his permission to sell on eBay. I felt like Whatnot, and I hadn't tried like the Facebook Marketplace avenues, but I figured as many eyeballs as we can get is probably the way to go. So yeah, we're definitely moving right along, selling a lot of his stuff on eBay right now. So we're doing good. I sold like 30 things.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been cool. So yeah, that's it for that. So do you want to move on? Go ahead.
I was wondering if you three guys can give me the education here on newsstand edition comics. What's the history behind them and what to look for in the wild? Because I know like sometimes newsstands are worth a lot more, and then there comes a point where they kind of come obsolete.
Yeah, there's a crisscross. So there's a point where direct and newsstand converge and they go opposite. So then there's more newsstands than there are directs. Jason, you know the dates better than I do.
Yeah, Chris, it's like it's around like 86 where they kind of that intersection point.
Yeah.
If you are interested, there's actually a YouTuber, popular YouTuber from you guys' area, Mint Hunter Comics, and he does an awesome like 30-minute breakdown on newsstand versus direct, like exactly when the direct market. So the direct market kind of like originates in like 1976. That's kind of when you see your first ever comic shops starting to pop up. Yeah. And so that necessitates the need for, you know, a
direct versus newsstand
box, you know, something down here, or a barcode. And initially, for the first several years, they had actually through 1980, there was no idea to put a shoulder, like a corner box in there, or I should say a lower corner box. So there would be a direct issue has a barcode, but it has a horizontal line through it. And so if you see a book from like 76 through 79, it'll either have the barcode, or it'll have the barcode with the horizontal line. So those directs are actually in less, there's less of them than there would be the newsstands, but for whatever reason, they have not seen the same kind of interest that newsstands have. And you know, a lot of people say people who are buying direct, chances are they're either a bigger reader or more interested in protecting their books. So the newsstand still carries a bit of a premium because they were sold on the newsstand. Any kid could go and flip through 20 copies of, you know, Secret Wars 8 before anybody that was trying to really collect it could get there. So the thought process is there's just fewer in higher grade condition. And then the rule actually is almost meaningless for some books too, because for instance, the Secret Wars books are from 84. There's probably every bit as
like
many
50-50.
It's 50-50, if not slightly more. But this book will sell for way more money in high grade than the direct.
Yeah, the logic doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the logic doesn't. So sometimes in those 80s books, it's really just about key significance, and then the market's going to dictate. So like that book, the True First Black Suit, what do you call it? ASM. Why am I blanking? ASM. Why am I blanking on the first
black suit? I don't remember.
Oh my God. But this is not like me. But anyways, that book has a huge premium in newsstand, and that book is like 84 too.
252.
So 252, ASM 252.
Yeah.
So those books, and then they truly do become way, like, the further you go beyond 86, newsstands get less and less and less. So when you start to see early 90s books, like even, this is something you might see often, Chris, like those the X-Men Jim Lee covers, the 4 connecting covers, those newsstands, there's like 10 million direct copies or something like that, but there's way fewer newsstands. And it actually sucks because they kind of butt ugly those covers because the barcode's so damn huge. But they're way rarer way more rare than
Nicholas said in the chat, like Spawn 1s and newsstands are rare. They're super rare.
And it's certain books too, like the Angela Spawn 9, like they must have been even less produced because like the Angela newsstand versus the Angela direct is like 10x in a 9.8. So and then you start getting the later and later. I think they start Marvel phases out newsstands altogether in 2013 or 2012 or 2013, something like that. So the later you get, the more valuable it is when you see them. But you definitely the later you get to, books may still have a barcode, but you have to look to see, does it say direct edition? So
that's true.
It'll have a barcode.
Sometimes
but it will say
says in tiny
edition.
words, it'll say direct.
And the later books, they won't say direct, but it'll say like the Mighty Thor or something, and that's how you kind of know that that's the newsstand edition. It doesn't say direct edition, and it says the name of the book. in that barcode.
Also, newsstands is an indicator for potentially Mark Jeweler variants because they're only in newsstands.
Only in newsstands, yeah.
So but they're rare. They're like 10
military bases.
Yeah, they're 10% of like whatever percent. They're even rarer than but it has to be a newsstand for it to be a Mark Jewelers. Usually, you can see if you're on the top of a box, you can see like white lines in the middle. That'll show you there's a Mark Jewelers.
Right, because it was it would have been a glossy insert.
Yeah. Good question.
So that's without boring you to death. That's quick.
That's
the biggest.
That's pretty good.
I know.
The quickest way that I do it just to look for stuff is I look for a barcode on anything that's Bronze Age or newer, and then I go from there. So that's the quick.
The reality is, though, that I think because that word is thrown around so much, there's like a false economy for newsstand issues that isn't really true. Like, a friend of mine was buying all the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man books in like the late '80s. They're so overprinted. It's like 50-50. So getting a newsstand really doesn't make it any more special than a direct copy.
You mean the ASM McFarlane's or the relaunch?
The relaunch, yeah.
Yeah, so he starts
Web of Spider-Man.
98 is 88, so but 300, you see Spider-Man 300, there's a huge difference in the newsstand versus
there's Dad.
There's your dad.
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
with a drive-by.
Like Deadpool's $1,600 or $1,500 for a 9.8, but it's $4,000
That book's 3 years later too. It's 91, so it starts to get. It makes more sense for the Deadpool than it does for ASM 300. So there's the other caveat, like Dolph said, Chris, is like the market will dictate. As long as the market's paying a lot more money, then they're gonna carry a premium. So
it's just because people don't educate themselves. So you even put, like, selling on eBay, you put newsstand in the title, it might sell your book even though it doesn't.
Right, even though
it's not worth anymore. Yeah, people do it all the time. Newsstand. It's like, who cares? But yeah, there's a great, if you do a search on Google, there is a graph that'll basically show you the convergence and how they spread apart again. So it's like newsstands are rare and then they're common, or how the graph is in the opposite direction.
And interesting enough, there's a couple of books from 1980. So Marvel was the first to release direct editions only. So there's like 4 titles from 1980. Moon Knight 1 is one of the books. I think maybe Micronauts or something like that are 2. So there are no newsstands of a couple of those books.
And then if you're talking about the barcodes, there's those what are they called? DC Directs?
DC Directs, yeah.
Those are super rare. If you can, well, some of them are super rare. Some of them I bought thinking they might have been worth something, like, nah. But there's a few that are like,
it seems to really be based on what the significance of the book is for those. Yeah.
But anywho,
very good information.
That was a long answer to a very quick question.
Yeah, and that was as short as I think I could make it too.
Yeah, so. That's about right. I got a question for you, Chris. How do you deal with comments? Because I know you get them.
I love comments.
You get them, though. It's like, I know, because I've watched your videos where you're like going through a short box and people are like, I can't believe you passed that book. Like, what are you doing? Like, they don't question your wallet. Like, I don't have the money to spend on that book. I skipped it because I either, 1, I can't pay for it, or 2, I don't want it, or... Like,
yeah, that is a good question, Chris, too, because, like, I've seen you flip over books that are huge books, but the way you're flipping through them, we don't see the price, so it could be $150. It could be right on the nose. It could be above market. Right. So, but I've seen the comments too, like where people are kind of
brutal.
You, but I was like, we don't see what the price is.
I also said to you, though, you know when you've made it when you start receiving hate comments.
That's what keeps me going, honestly. It's like, that's a good sign. But so there's 3 types of comments in situations like that. One is the viewer is not aware that the books are individually priced. Mm-hmm. That was a big video I had where I was so focused on what I did find, and people were so focused on the things that I passed up, and I was very frustrating that one video because the guy that's a regular seller at the flea market. He has boxes of $1 and $2 books, and then he has a box of everything's individually priced, and everything is not sellable prices. It's market plus prices. So I just usually just scroll through that box real quick, don't pay much attention to it, look for anything that might pique my eye, but that's pretty much it. So I go through that box, I get roasted in the comments for, you missed this key, you missed that key, $1 and $2 books, are you kidding me? I would have bought the whole box.
I know a couple guys that commented on me. Is like, I can't believe Chris passed up on that Kang book. Like, how much
that was the first one of your videos where I was like, wait, how much are these books? Because like you were flipping through them, and I was like, every book in that short box is a banger. So like it couldn't just be happenstance that every book was a huge book.
She knew her stuff too.
Unaware what they
she
had.
was tough. She knew her stuff.
And on something like that, it's frustrating to read, but at the end of the day, I look at it as I got to take the L on that because I have to show that those books are individually priced. But the other ones that get me a little more frustrated are the ones where people think I have the infinite money glitch, where I could just keep pulling out dollars and buying books. That bothers me. But also is I'm not as wide scoped on comics as you guys are by any stretch of the imagination. I'm probably like 5 or 10% of what you guys are looking at.
You'll get there, though.
I'm not going to buy something that I don't like or that I don't understand.
You're not going to also,
even if it is a big key, I don't want it. Like, it's just not in my nature to collect
$500 on a Kang book. Your day is done. You're like, all
right. Absolutely. That book, that one, that guy was way over.
Although that Kang book was probably underpriced at $500 at this point, depending on what the condition was.
It was like a 0.5.
It could have been, yeah. And that's another thing that isn't conveyed in the video. Like, you're seeing it real quick, like, oh shit, that's a Kang.
Right.
And then he says
like
$500.
If somebody goes like this quick, you'd be like, oh,
I don't know what condition.
You know what I mean? Like,
could be a detached cover, and then it's like, no. And not only that, like he found out, she was savvy. She priced everything above. Like you had to take a little bit off. Like, come on, help me out here.
I took a $150 book. I asked for $70, which was bold enough to ask. I'm already cutting your price down in half. But it wasn't a $150 book.
No.
And I still paid $90 for it. I still paid a little more than what it was worth. But I mean, for me at that point, like I try to explain to Dad who doesn't, I'm trying to get him to understand. Like I'm doing that for the video at that point. I'm not doing that so much for it's a great value buy or anything like that.
They haven't been back, have they? I haven't seen them. They haven't been back, have they?
They have. They're there weekly. They just never bring comic books. Yeah, they
it's
always
just that one
shoes.
time.
That's their big thing.
Yeah, they just had that one short box.
And the guy in that video, he said that he paid somebody to price his comics for him. So,
all right.
I was like, it's one of those things. Like he didn't even know what he. I tried to start a conversation with him, like, wow, these are really cool books and stuff like that. He's like, I don't care about the books. I'm just here to sell them. So
yeah. Okay. But I also like, putting yourself on the other side of the table. Like, I've been talking to Will lately, and me and Will are kind of in the same boat. Like, I'm not going to bring my keys because my keys are they're all holds. Like, I bring keys and sell them off, then I'm going to regret it in like a month or half a year. And I'll be like, damn, I shouldn't have sold that at the flea market.
Yeah.
It's
my rule
tough
for selling has kind of been, I'm not bringing anything like more than $50. It's kind of my cap.
That's probably where most of the guys are for like their spending maximum anyway. I know there's a couple of guys like, Erod, if you have some good books, he'll drop some money, or like I have a sports card guy named Chris, like he walks around with $2,000 in his pocket, so I know if I got high quality stuff, he'll buy it. He will buy it, but he's like one of those guys who takes every card out. He's like this. And I'm like, dude, you're killing me here. Like you call him a punisher. He's a punisher.
I've had some great people show up just because I said that I'm going to be selling on these days. People come and just spend money just to help out and support, and I'm just like I'm so grateful for people like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've had that too. Like I'm stopping by the table to say hi. Let me buy something at least. I always appreciate that. Yeah, it's really cool. But I also I gotta thank you because you have sent a lot of people my way. Because
speaking of sending people your way,
yeah.
Nick and Greg, welcome to the chat. How you guys doing?
What's up, Greg?
Greg, in case you guys don't know, turned me on to an awesome comic book store in Hazlitt, New Jersey. If you haven't seen that video, check it out because it's.
Oh yeah, I did watch that one. That was a good one.
Mark,
that was a coin store, right?
It's his uncle's coin store, but he rented out a section to sell comic books, and he's doing a pretty good job there.
Might be worth the trip.
I watched that on my walk to work this morning. I watched that.
Awesome. Cool.
What's up, Greg? Yeah, that was a good video. It's funny how everything's just in little short boxes all over the place. Like he does have
he just kept pulling them out, and he said he had so much stuff that he couldn't get to.
That's crazy. Is everything priced already, or does he look it up when you pull out a stack? Like
a lot of it was unpriced because he just gotten in a new collection.
Yeah,
and that's what Greg was telling me. Greg was telling me that my friend Mark's got a new collection. Go check it out. So I went. He had a lot of stuff unpriced, and he wasn't looking anything up. As far as to see what's what, I just kind of pulled out anything that I kind of caught my eye. Yeah. I said, this is where I want to be. We had some key books that we couldn't come to an agreement with, and then a lot of stuff that we did, and he was pretty cool with the prices. He told me afterwards, after I posted the video, the weekend that I posted it, he had 4 people come into the store and each spend over $100.
Based on your videos?
For everybody that did that.
Dude, that's awesome.
That was crazy too. It was so haphazard. I mean, he had like New Mutants '98, then he'd have a book from the '70s. Like, I don't even know how
over
books
the
get
place.
that far out of sort.
It was a wide assortment of stuff. Oh my god, it was crazy.
See,
that's why
everybody
we had to
has
keep
that
digging.
New Mutants book.
That's why we had to keep digging because we didn't know what we were going to pull out. We just had to keep going.
Chris made a comment last week that New Mutants '98, first Deadpool was on the Hot 10 list, and the Hot 10 list has been the bane of his existence because we've done this every week now for like 2 months, the whole summer, and my brother had a baby and we missed 1 week, and the week we missed was the only week he had a book on the Hot 10 list, which was Star Wars 1. And so he's become somewhat bitter about the Hot 10.
Bitter.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. The thing. I collect a lot of more modern indie stuff and Star Wars. Like that's kind of my bag. I have plenty of Marvel and DC titles, but nothing that's worth anything crazy.
Yeah, but you're leveling up too, though. You're figuring it out.
Well, that's just it. Like I'm getting to the point now where I'm recognizing certain things and seeing certain trends just by doing this and talking to other people, and so now I'm spending a little bit more on some of the keys, but
both of you guys are. Even Chris, your videos, you're starting to pull out bigger issues. Like where before you kind of like you kind of modeled your collecting around what your dad likes, and now you're starting to figure it out. So both of you guys are going to figure it out. Look, Jason did. Jason's only 6 months into this? 8 months into this?
Year and a half at this point.
Is it a year and a half? But he started out with no knowledge.
You're only a year and a half in? Wow. I thought you've been collecting for like a decade.
No.
I started out with no comic books.
He basically said he never wanted to have more than a short box, and now he bought what 4 collections already?
I bought six collections.
6 collections. He's definitely more than a short box.
3 of them were tiny, but 2 of them were big. 3 of them were big.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that also reminds me with the starting to branch out. I have just I finally bought, because I have the graphic, I have the story, but I finally bought my first single issue Kraven's Last Hunt book. I know they're not huge, but
oh nice.
They're growing.
I love that story.
They're definitely they've doubled at least in the last year.
Chris, which one did you buy?
I grabbed an ASM 132.
You didn't buy ASM because ASM's $294 and $295. So you bought
Spectacular? Is that what it was? Yeah, I have it written down somewhere.
I think that might be the one Jimmy needs. So I got him.
It's 7, right?
There's 6 of them. So there's 2 from Spectacular, 2 from Web, and 2 from ASM.
Yeah.
The ASM, both ones carry the biggest value, but the Web 32 or whatever is probably the most famous cover, the one where he's coming out of the grave. Is probably the most famous.
Yeah, I have that print.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, in that collection I bought, the Boys and Girls Club of Delaware got none of those books. I got all 6 of them in that collection. but one of them was mangled and the other 5 were really clean. And
There
that was like Jimmy's favorite like little story arc when we were kids. So
Craven's Last Hunt?
Yeah.
When you were little kids?
Yeah. Listen, he's a dark child.
He's a dark child, I guess.
So he had there you go. Greg Greg 293.
293 and 294 for ASM. So yeah, it must have been spectacular.
Spectacular. That's cool. All right, you want to get to this list?
Yeah, hot 10.
Hot 10.
So Dolph is
crap 10.
800 this week.
Yeah. 10. What do I
But he's 0 for 1 to start.
0 for 1 to start. Yeah, I've been pretty vocal about the 2 books that I want and that are on here.
This week is kind of brutal. It's not a cheap list again this week.
No. So I start out 0 for 1. I do not have this book. I want this book so bad. It's funny because
this book is so expensive now. The 3 price bumps are plus 2%, plus 3%, and plus 1%, or an average of exactly plus 2%.
Do you know what's funny though is that when I saw the other book that I don't have on this list, when I saw what the 1.0 sold for, I might be able to get one at Comic-Con.
Would you want to get one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is this a book you're targeting? I guess.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, that's the book that I've been targeting, and what I saw the selling price for the 1.0, I was like, maybe I can get one. I thought it was way more.
Wouldn't you would want this book though in a presentable version as a 1.0, right? You don't want a big freaking big
not a bunch of chunks
that ruin the yellow or
but
all the colors to be faded or anything.
And we'll get there. Let's start with 10, but yeah, we'll get there.
This actually is kind of shocking to me. I know the key of significance. I know how early this book is, but a 5.5 of this book now is like multiple grand more than several other huge keys. Like a 5.5 of this book is probably more valuable than a 7.5 or 8.0 of FF52 First Black Panther, which is kind of crazy to me. So I don't know if that's based on the scarcity or just the fact that it's the fact that it's earlier, so many 5 years earlier or whatever the case may be. I just think it's kind of crazy.
I mean, I do like this book. I want this book bad, but I'm still eyeing FF6 is my go-to book.
Sure.
It's second Doom, second Submariner Silver Age, and it's the first team up. Right? That book has it's a trifecta of coolness, and it's kind of still affordable. You can get like a 1.0 for like 1,000, but I mean, I'd rather have this book, but I think the better investment is the FF6 for the money.
Sure.
But like, who's slinging many thousands for these books right now? Like, we're not finding these at a flea market.
Chris, our thing is always, if I find this at the flea market,
if you find it in a dollar box, you buying this? Yeah. Yes, you are.
If I see it at the flea market, it's coming home. This one is interesting too, because like they had that high at 15.1K, and I was like, maybe that's even low for the high on this thing. I'd like to see where this book is at in an 8.0 if a 5.5 now is selling for 8 Gs. Like, I have a feeling there's going to be precipitous upticks with each and every grade bump from maybe 15 from a book like this. So
15, because I know like the 9.0s are going for like in the 30s.
That's freaking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a 9.0 newsstand?
Newsstand, yeah.
Just kidding.
But this next book is a nice. It's still affordable. I would definitely buy one of these.
Yeah, Submariner 1 got one of those great covers. One of these. I didn't realize. I just was listening to. I can't remember whether it's comic book historians or whatever the case, whichever podcast I was listening to, but I didn't realize the reason you had all those #1 relaunches in '68 is because Marvel finally gets wider distribution through the distribution, because prior to that they could only circulate like 7 titles per month or whatever. Yeah. And this allows them to have Iron Man 1, Hulk 102, so all those titles.
They all got relaunched, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great cover too. the interesting thing about this, like the Iron Man 1, is they just talked about because how widely they were produced in '68 because they were allowed to finally do them. But this is got one of those really cool covers with the underwater background with the whole bunch of stuff, whole bunch of crap happening behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one.
Plus, that's got that great corner box of Namor running, I don't know, steeplechase possibly, or whatever he's doing. He's got the mirror image of the Sentinels from X-Men 14.
Yeah, it's a good one. Get it.
And then this is the book that basically is with Iron Man 1 and Submariner 1, but this predates, I guess, Submariner and Iron Man by what, a month or two?
Something like that.
Dolph, do you own this book? Yes, you do. I forgot. We forgot to say you were 1 for 2 on the last book, and now you're 2 for 3.
I have a really nice copy of this. Like, it's high grade.
What a great cover!
It is a great cover.
But interesting to see that it's still so much less. So a 9.0 of this sells for $1,000.
Yeah.
A 7.0 of above sells for $1,000, and this predates both of those.
Are you gonna find this book anywhere for $15? No. When you say that,
if I find it at the flea market, I'm buying it.
Low $15? You crazy?
The next book's got a low of 7 Gs. You gonna find that for 7 Gs anywhere?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. So, like, a 1.0 landed its second highest sale at 9. Like, that I think I can get at Comic-Con. I'm getting closer to it. If I have another few good weeks, I could walk away with a Hulk one. And then I'm done. And then it's like I've got my 2 grails. What do I do now?
This one is laughable, though, that the high is 210 Gs, the low is 7 Gs.
That's crazy.
That's 30x right there. I mean, that's freaking crazy.
I mean, I always have my sales pitches. I'm gonna give you cash right now. I'll save you 13% on eBay, so I'll take 13% off the listing price. Some guy has one for 10, I'll be like, I'll saving you 13% by giving you cash. Not even a check, like, here's cash.
Right.
That would be ideally what I'd love to walk out at Comic-Con this year with a Hulk one.
Are you bringing a suitcase handcuffed to you?
You damn right I am.
Filled with singles?
Damn right I am.
I don't know what I'll target. I guess I'll just target lots of value books. You guys will be look for grails. Jimmy will be looking at Adam Hughes books and possibly getting autographs. And I'll keep digging through $1 and $2 bins all day.
No, I got a handful of stuff, but that's one of the grails that I'm looking for. The next one.
I was gonna say the one that's peeking at you.
Yeah, because I'm it's starting to really bother me now.
Chris, are you going to CGL? Chris, are you going to Comic-Con? Well, you are, right?
Yes.
You are?
We'll be there.
Cool.
What day are we going? Thursday? Is that where we're going?
I'm going all 4.
You're going all 4. But
I'm going 3. I'm just not going Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, you're going with us the day Jimmy and I are going, right? Unless you get these vendor passes.
Well, I'll still be going with you anyway. I'll have the pass.
Yeah, you're going Friday. Me and Jimmy and maybe Chris are going. I have another Chris. I think we're going Friday. I'm going by myself Thursday, and then I did not get Saturday. I'm going with Nick on Sunday.
That's right.
So yeah. I'm going Thursday. I'm going Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
I like to avoid Saturday.
So
it's too much.
We'll go. I'll go with you on Thursday if you want.
Yeah, that's fine.
So that will not actually be my first Comic-Con then, because I just today got confirmation that I'm in a little Comic-Con selling next weekend. So that'll be my second con since I was like 16, but my first one attending.
But you're selling at it, right?
Yeah, I'm selling next Saturday and Sunday.
I mean, Chris, do you know Christian? You'd know him if you saw him. He's a regular at the. He had a booth at Comic-Con last year. We saw him. He did really well. He cleaned up, but he does live painting. So he was doing like live art. Cool. But yeah, just to have a booth at Comic-Con is crazy,
that's a small fortune in itself.
He did real well. I never asked how much it is to like even get in like Artist Alley, or do they just? No, they're not going to just give you a table. How much would that be? Thousands.
I was gonna say probably like $3 or $4 grand at least.
Probably. You better make
That's something though that Dad and I were talking about doing though, is just going to a convention as a seller, just a small one, just to try that out. Never did that before.
But then that's why I always said I would do better at a card show, because I'm willing to sell my good cards. The comics, because I'm not bringing wall books, I'm not bringing bangers. I don't know how good I would do with just like a bunch of long boxes of like mid-range price stuff.
Yeah. Right?
They all want, especially at a comic show, they want you to have a wall of like the keys, all the keys.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, next weekend I will be taking some big keys with me. I mean,
you have good keys to sell in order to keep the ones you want to keep.
Yep. And you know, I'll have my 4 short boxes of Silver Age, which there's a lot of good books in there.
Yeah.
I'll have probably another 2 or 3 short boxes of priced books, and then I'll have 30 or so slabs, probably, and then probably 5 short boxes of $1, $2, and $3 books. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect. But
good luck, man.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. All right, next.
Moving on.
Number 6.
Chris is going to just step away for a minute, give himself a little time to cool down. He's already got an Elvis curl to his lip.
He's gonna have one of these one day.
So Dolph has
2.
2 of this. So CGL Chris, this is where you start to see that newsstand out to lunch. What is BBL?
Be back later.
Be back later. So this is where you start to see that this book is from 2008. So you can see here a newsstand 9.2 sold for $1,650, where a direct 9.6 sold for $1,300. So and
I think mine are both directs,
9.8
right?
newsstand this week sold for $7,500. Although you see this, the first happened back in April 2021, and that book sold for $13,800.
That's bullshit.
Is that the Filoni one or the newsstand?
No,
it has to be. It can't be.
That's the straight up, because down below it says a 9.8 copy of the Filoni variant, limited to 1,000 copies. I didn't know it was that scarce, actually. Sold for $11,500 this week.
But how? That's what I'm saying. How is it? How? How is it
I
even
don't
possible?
know, Chris. Somebody paid like
somebody got hosed. That's what happened.
Wacky price.
Somebody got hosed, because that's like a $2,400 at a 9.8. It's a $2,400 book.
The Filoni book?
No, not the Filoni book.
Oh, you mean the newsstand?
Like $10,000 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, or this week at least $11,500 this week.
Yeah.
I still want more copies of this. I think this book's gonna be Ultimate Fallout 4 and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a crazy book and one you should get.
So CGL Chris, if you don't know, this is like the first appearance of Ahsoka Tano in comic books. So that's the significance.
Yeah, and Rex.
Right here, they talk total copies ordered 24,508. And Christopher, would this have been targeted? I mean, this is a Dark Horse title, but would it have been targeted as a kid's book, The Clone Wars?
No. There's Clone Wars Adventures that came later.
It would have been
targeted as a kid's book.
But that was on IDW, right? It wasn't through.
Yeah, that was way more recent.
Did this come out before the show, or did it come out right after the show premiered?
There was another one. There was another one that came out that was like a kid's book. It's actually
so when you're saying
first
Clone Wars Adventures.
No. It was called Clone Wars. It had a secondary title. I can't remember what it was called, but that was more of a kid's book, and that actually predates this Clone Wars. So that's really the first Ahsoka appearance in comics, but it doesn't get credited as such.
Now, what I think is most interesting about this, and CGL, this is something you need to know too, like of 2008, most modern books, when you get out of those 9s, the drop off is like, I mean, it's like this, you know? But a 5.5 of this week sold for $440.
Yeah. Because you don't really see one that bad. I've never seen, like, most modern comics, you don't see one that, like, somebody just sat on and destroyed. And
it's just hilarious, though, that's, you know, is somebody paying up because they're somebody slabbed one that's that much garbage? Like, Dolph, do you have your CGC count open? Like, what is the census count book? Is it 2,000 total graded copies? Like, what is it? But I'm just shocked a 5.5 sold for $440, and it's not that crazy yet. A 5.5 sold for $395 last year. So, you know, now I know the paper quality on these Dark Horse books, you can get some legit spine ticks on these bad boys, because I've seen that on Dark Horse books at some antique malls and stuff like that I've gone to.
There are more 9.8s than there are 9.6s.
There's more 9.8s than 9.6s. What's the total census count?
1318.
Okay.
There's 400.
What's the lowest graded book? Is it the
a 3?
I just got my butt cheek on it. 5.5.
A 3?
A 3.0. Somebody graded a 3.0.
Oh my god.
That's just like I got this for free.
It's like they let their cat shit on it or something.
I wouldn't even know how much a 3.5 goes for, or 3.0 goes for. There's one 3.0 and a 1.35, and there's two 4.0s. That's pretty funny.
That is great.
Hey, whatever.
And the special edition,
it,
I guess they're saying the special edition, there's only 200 graded copies.
So that's 1/5 of the total count.
But there is also the same. There's more 9.8s than there are 9.6s. There's 105 9.8s of that Filoni book.
This is a book, I swear to G, this is a book you can still find at a flea market or an antique mall or something like that, because it's only from 2008. It's
Chris.
I crap you not. This is a book that you can find at a flea market or antique mall.
No, you know where you find this? You don't find it there. Garage sale.
At a yard sale.
Garage sale, yeah.
That's where you're gonna find this book, at a yard sale. Because you know what this book is? This book is my son moved out and he left all his comics behind, and damn, there you go. That's where that book is. And I'm selling all his shit, and then he's gonna come home. He's like, "Mom, you sold my comics? Like, you weren't reading them. You moved out. You don't love me anymore. You love your wife."
I'm trying to get people referring to their shit as poop to really make it come, to come on strong. Like, you sold my poop. It's just not going to work. But no. I'd like to hear somebody try. So this book's interesting. It's just like every book from 68 of those relaunches. It was hot this week because I can't imagine what would make Iron Man 1 pop this week. Bad A cover for sure, but this book's got some big jumps.
Yeah, because it's iconic.
Yeah,
I mean that's what.
Is yours graded or is it not graded?
Not graded yet. It's where I was kind of collecting. It's mid grade, so it's like a 5, 6,
something like that. So,
because it's all that
jumps on this book in those upper tiers.
All that purple and blue on the cover makes it really hard to keep nice. But man, when it is nice, that
look
cover
at that difference
pops.
between a 6.0 and an 8.5. I know that's 5 grades, but that is almost triple. And usually you don't see that big a difference in some of these books.
I'm gonna submit that economy and wait.
Submit an economy and wait.
Yeah.
Well, if it's anything like my superhero is 20, you'll wait at least a calendar.
I'll wait. That's true.
And then it'll fall off the radar of CGC. If I find hey, I got a book.
Jason makes the list.
Boom.
What's up, Rafaust? What's up, Michael?
I have been hanging on CGL. At least one book per week on this list. A couple times I had 2. I think the most I've ever had is 3. But yeah, this book is it's on its rebound again. This book, New Mutants 98, to Chris's chagrin, is on the rebound again. Everybody's got that book, right? Everybody's got that effing book.
Secret Wars 8.
It's a very popular book.
It's a very popular book.
It's like X-Men 1 at this point. Everybody's got a copy.
Everybody's got a copy.
Right?
I mean, Jim Lee X-Men 1. Everybody's got a copy.
So
Turok the Dinosaur
I think it's
Hunter.
crazy that this book had a high sale this week of $979 for the direct 9.8. So, what is the a newsstand 9.8 this week? This is what I was talking about. Sold for $2,160. So, more than 2x for something that really should not matter at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and not only that, it's not the first black suit. It's the origin of the black. Everybody gets that confused. They all think this is the first appearance. It's not.
It is a baller cover, though.
It is a great cover. I think it also helps that they're definitely, because they did announce Secret Wars, that they. Yep. But I think it's more likely that we're going to get the Saad Ribic version of Secret Wars, not this one, because this doesn't have anything to do with Convergence. This has Battle World.
Also, it's got Miles and Next Gen characters in the modern Secret Wars, and it doesn't in this. But I mean, who wins for better trade dress? This wins hands down.
Yeah, I agree.
Who wins for most iconic Elvis cover? This wins hands down. You mean?
Yep.
So if I find that at the flea market and or a cards and games store, I'm buying it. I'm buying it again and again. Maybe it'll come to me all the time now.
I wonder. We should look in CGL's book and see if his dad owns like 6 copies of it. He probably does. Oh, that book? Yeah, I have it. It's scratched off somewhere.
So this book. Oh, I have 2 this week. This book is on the rebound. Tales of Suspense 94 is the first appearance of MODOK.
This one is another one that I have. I have at least 7 copies of this.
A mechanized organism designed only for killing.
Yeah.
I actually never knew what that acronym was. But a 6.0 sold for this week for $360.
Yeah, that's a good one, Michael.
That's a 23% increase since November, so that would have been a good purchase.
So now he's in Quantum Mania. He's going to be Yellow Jacket, right? The dude that plays Yellow Jacket is going to be MODOK. I think that's kind of cool.
Right. So I mean,
because he is in the quantum realm.
What do you think they do for MODOK in live action? Like, how does he look in live action?
Cool. I hope not like the Patton Oswalt version. I hope they make him look cool. I mean, if you played the Avengers video game, MODOK was pretty like the
Contest of Champions?
No. MODOK was in the Avengers game, the PlayStation Avengers game. So like it was a character that like devolved into MODOK. I forgot the story behind it, but he's like just a regular scientist, and his head gets bigger. He looks like the leader, and then his head gets bigger again and bigger again. Like every time you see him, his head keeps getting bigger. And then next thing you know, he's got little stubby hands and little stubby feet, and he's flying around.
And he's got a great scooter.
He's T-Rexing around.
He's T-Rexing around. MODOK's awesome.
Interesting enough, you see an 840% increase in copies sold this week versus the previous week.
I mean,
now that can mean 2 copies sold the previous week and 17 sold this week. But still, that's a significant difference week to week.
Yeah, true, Michael.
It's quite the jump.
Yeah, it could be. You're right. It could go from like 20 to 100. I mean, not to mention. It's got
to be a certain number though, because you can't have it couldn't have been 1 because you can't sell 0.4% of a. You can't sell 0.4 of a copy.
Yeah.
So in order for there to be an 840%, it's got to be a bigger number than 1 or 2.
I mean,
actually, you can sell 0.4 of a copy.
You can.
Didn't CGC sell a little paper cut of
Action
ASM
1?
15?
Did they sign it a percentage?
No,
it'll be authentic.
0.1% of the.
It was just a tiny square of the cover.
Yeah, when you see
they slabbed it and it sold.
Pages of Amazing Fantasy 15 are going for like $7,000.
Crazy.
It is crazy. But this book I was buying last year. That's why I have so many copies. I kept every time I saw one for under $60, I was buying it.
Chris, CGL Chris, in the books that you see, Tales of Suspense is a run that you could potentially still see this book somehow in with the other Tales of Suspense books, because there's not a ton of huge bangers in this. Well, I shouldn't say they're all great books, but there's not huge. It's not big dollar after big dollar after big dollar after big dollar.
This is definitely a book that Joey will have one day in like a milk carton, and you're gonna roll up and you're like give him a stack, and Joey be like, "Give me $20," and you're like, "All right, it sounds good."
Yeah, you want to remember. You're gonna want to commit "If This Be MODOK" to memory.
Yeah. Yep. Next, we knew this was gonna be on there.
Next. Yep.
So, do you guys remember? I at that flea market, I bought that 3-pack, and my Secret Wars 1 is a second print, and the second print is the one that's going bonkers right now.
Yeah.
So,
how many are there?
What's that?
How many are there? Like, is it really short printed?
I do not know. I mean, really, the difference is it's black suit Spidey in the lower box, as opposed to the first print, which is
that's what it looks like.
Is classic Spidey.
Classic.
So you can see a
it certainly is
9/8 of the second print sold for $1,600.
Nice run
week.
Though.
It sold for $729 in August. It's a 119% increase. I don't think that is possible. That it's sustainable. Also, a 9/6 sold for $260, which that's a flipping enormous difference.
Do not get that FOMO, this book, because Secret Wars is so far away that this book is going to drop off considerably in the next 6 months when people are not talking about this book.
Yep.
Do not buy this book. This is unless you see it at a garage sale for $5.
Right.
Do not buy this book.
Which to be funny enough, it was the only one that was not in this run. When I was at the shop the other night, or else I would have 3 copies of it now instead of just 2.
Yeah, I would get, what is it, issue 2 and 3 are the She-Hulk tie-ins, Volcania and Titania.
Titania's in 3
or
I
2?
think, cameos in 2, and then a Spider-Woman, first new Spider-Woman is in
3.
It's 7.
3 or 2?
And then she may have a cameo in 6, but her first full is in.
Yeah, but either way, the more current spec is the She-Hulk stuff in issues 2 and 3, not 1.
Yep, right. So this book is crazy though. These are bonkers prices. A 9/8 sold for $1,050 in the direct edition. A newsstand, a 9/8 sold for $11.99. So
you know what you should do?
Well, 140, not about an exact $149 difference. Whereas we just saw with Secret Wars 8 was a 2x, more than 2x difference between the 9/8 newsstand and the direct. So it is kind of crazy, the key significance and how people determine the newsstand is more valuable or less valuable. There's not really any rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, I got to see the print runs. They're probably about even, no? In 84?
I would imagine it's 84.
50-50.
And this is exactly what we were talking about. Event book, so this
people just see the word newsstand and they're thinking rare, and that's not the case. Especially even if it's 55-45. It doesn't warrant the prices.
Right. Like I said, the second prints are probably much
rare
than anything else.
All right, here you go.
Finally,
the one that Chris let get away for $500.
So 2 of us on this have at least held this book, and.
Yeah, my copy is a beater. Not only is it beater, but it has handwriting on the cover. Like some kid wrote on it. I feel like I should have got another copy. My copy's not nice.
Is your copy's pretty faded too, right? The colors are pretty faded. So
I don't remember if the colors are faded. I just know that right around Thor's hammer, some kid wrote his name. It's a beater. I'll see if I can clean it up.
Just continuing. This book was huge right around Loki, and then cooled off considerably, and now it is. Now it's going to have a slow burn, I think, for the next year, because we probably don't get Loki till next spring.
Probably. Did they even say a date on that yet?
It was out. It was as Conan would say, in the year 2000. It was way out there. So I think it was summer 2023. So at least a year out.
What a reference!
Yeah, that's a reference. So did Chris CGL mess up? He might have messed. No, I'm just kidding.
It's crazy though. Look, a 1.0 this week sold for $500.
No, but I agree with Chris. If it was a beater, it's not worth $500. Like,
it messed up from the perspective of he had it marked at 500. I could have offered him 250, and he might have taken it.
He might have taken it.
That book was marked at 500.
The one he had it marked at 500. It was. I don't even know if it was a 1, to be honest. It was falling apart in the bag.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
It's crazy though. Like a 1.8 sold for $505. So if you could have gotten a grade bump for $5 additional, you definitely should have bought that.
Right.
Right. But for that, you can get another 2 additional grade bumps for another $145. So it's you're probably going to continue to see the lower grades. At least at cons or even in shops where you can get them at a much more reasonable price right now.
This is also a thing, though, where I mean, obviously, it's a key character. It's going to have some staying power, but at the same time, he's a bad guy. He's going to die at the end. So, bad guys are tough. Villains are tough.
I was just surprised that the announcements are talking about him being in as many things as they are,
because of all the variants, because the different Kangs.
Right.
So yeah, I mean he's gonna pop in, but it not necessarily be the Conqueror. He can be other Kangs.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know if I'll put my first Immortus on the wall next weekend or not. So
nah.
I would think that Kang and possibly Rama Tut would be the more likely ones, but maybe OG Kang is the one that's going to resonate with people the most. So
yeah, but if you're looking for, already this book is high, Rama Tut might be the better Kang book, or those what are those, the 80s Avengers books with the Council of Kangs, like those books are still pretty low level and a lot more room to grow. This one is already it's like putting money on the Astros or the Yankees to win the World Series. You're betting 1,000 to win 300. It's like not worth it.
Yeah, hopefully you had your money on the Padres a long time ago. So
I think my friend just did. He put $20 on the Padres to win. It pays $2,800.
So I think that this is a 9-8 candidate, the one you pressed for me.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I think I might end up submitting this one.
Yeah, I would.
And it's a newsstand too, so it's a great book. But that's our list for this week.
That's the list.
Dolph bat 800. It's a Hall of Famer.
800. Yeah, definitely.
I batted 200. I'm at the Mendoza line.
Yeah.
I struck out at every at bat.
Chris, I think you had some line drives.
Hi, Lisa. Welcome.
You had some line drive outs. You know what I mean? You're staying in the batter's box. You're taking your hacks. You're going to get there. There's going to be a Star Wars week where you're going to go 500, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, you're probably right, Greg. Padres don't make the playoffs.
Won't that be something if they don't make the playoffs? It's hilarious. So what's on the horizon for this next week? Anybody got anything happening? Christopher, you should be getting your books this week, right?
I should be. Oh, from what? Oh, yeah, I should be getting them tomorrow.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about that collection.
No. That's a TBD.
Yes. It'll happen, and when it does, it'll be wonderful.
It will be wonderful, and I'll just show up on your doorstep in the rain.
I already
with a boom box over my head.
Yeah,
I already warned my wife. I said, "There's going to be a bold invader. There's going to be two gentlemen knocking at my door." We're just gonna have to let them in because they're not going away.
I am still buying Novas. I'm still buying First Howard the Ducks whenever I see them on the cheap. I
almost jumped on the Nova train for a minute because I found one that was in pretty decent shape, and I was like, "Do I want to jump on this?" I was like, "Belt's all about it."
Now, CGO, how about you? So, have you been able to hit as much stuff up considering you're selling on Saturdays now?
Yes, because I go with my dad, and we'll swap in and out of the booth. So
okay,
yeah, you actually get to walk around. I
don't.
We
use Sundays to kind of go to conventions and stuff. We got the Wayne Toy Show coming up this weekend, so that should be a good one.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been to any comic shows since I've been back into this, but I did go to a toy show with a friend, and I'm in central Pennsylvania. I work at Penn State, so I'm right smack dab in the middle of Pennsylvania. But I found insane deals at a toy show because the comic guys aren't like as big into the comics as they are.
We had the same thing.
That's exactly right.
We went to Wayne. We had a good comic book vendor there.
Yeah, so
because I was saying to Alex, the card guy in the middle of me and Chris, I was telling him that I almost wanted to go to the National for the comics, not the sports cards. Like I'd speed walk the show and just look for short or long boxes.
Do you think that exists?
Yeah, there was comics there. There was a guy. He was there on Friday, and he came by my and Chris's booth on Saturday, and he's like, "Yeah, there were definitely comics there."
That's
but
crazy.
like I'd have a card guy, and he'd have like a short box on the side.
Sure, yeah.
Nobody just comics. But that's exactly. I mean, I found some of my best comics at like a book show, like a rare book show.
Right.
Same with sports cards. I remember I bought a Ernie Banks rookie, a Stan Musial rookie, and a Hank Aaron second year, and they were in a fishbowl at a bookstore, a rare bookstore, a rare book show, in a fishbowl. I think I paid $14 for the 3 cards, and they were worth $2,000.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Our method is always try to buy comics at toy shows and buy toys at comic shows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I just haven't been able to get out there because Saturday is like garage sale day, and we're at the flea market, but garage sales is where it's at. Not even estate sales, because we've talked about this. Estate sales have backdoor handshakes with these guys, so they already have a comic guy. And they're like, you see an estate sale and they got comics listed, they're already under a table and they know where to find him. So the comic guy goes in early, he knows exactly the hiding place, he pulls out the comics and he buys them.
I went to an estate sale.
There is a guy here in Central PA that he must have 60 listings on Facebook Marketplace in different little ways. He phrases things different, as though he's different people. He'll be like, selling my comic collection, which it's obviously just garbage at that point, because he's then the same dude says paying more than dealers. I was like, you are a dealer, you schmuck. Like, I know that you're a dealer, like that's why you're buying them, because then your third ad says you're the biggest buyer in all of York County or whatever. And it's just hilarious, the different like tactics that some of these guys, and how transparent, or how thinly veiled they are, But to your point, Dolph, I don't know. It would probably be hard for a novice if they actually look on Marketplace or something like that wouldn't go to that person first, because they're going to see more posts from that person than somebody else.
Pizza boxes. Alex, who comes to the comic book store, he's just talking about storing books. You'd be shocked. Paper bags, ShopRite, like supermarket paper bags, fit comics perfectly. Just stack them up in a paper bag is like a great way to store comics on the super cheap. Like just straight up in a paper bag. I don't know. So what are you guys looking for?
I will be in the great state of New Jersey tomorrow at Ocean City with Jimmy.
Oh, you're going to Jimmy's. I can't go.
The,
Tammy and Nick have COVID upstairs.
Uh-huh.
I was going to help Jimmy, but I can't go now because Tammy and Nick have COVID.
I can't take my children because my ex-wife got COVID and the kids have been with her, so my mom won't get to see the grandkids, but I'll be down there with my mom. So probably
good luck. It should
I'll
be
work
fun.
in the booth with Jimmy tomorrow, and then probably hanging out on Friday. I'm not sure yet. So maybe I'll try and hit something up on the way home, or try and go to some flea markets Sunday morning. But
I'm trying to think if there's a one down there. I mean, you're probably not far from Columbus on Sunday. Chris, have you ever been to Columbus? Everybody keeps telling us to go there.
A couple times.
You
I
have?
haven't been there on the channel, but a couple times I've been there.
Yeah, I got to try it once. Even they said it's like $80 for the month, which is crazy for the amount of money we spend for Meadowlands. Yeah. But I think, I don't know.
Where's Columbus?
It's down the turnpike.
Yeah, but you get so much freaking foot traffic. When the weather's nice, you guys get foot traffic there.
Yeah. But like Chris has found out, like just from watching his videos, we definitely got more competition. Not that that's a bad thing. I don't. Nothing worries me. And just like there's just people have said to us because we're on either the first row or the last row, depends on where you start. So people have either spent all their money by the time they get to us, or we're their first stop. I think it's just when they get familiar with our location and who we are, they come to us first. Kind of like Chris. Chris used to hit Will and then me every morning. He knew where to start because once you get into the interior, there weren't any other comic guys. So Chris knew what to do.
It's buyer's paradise.
Yeah, I have this like dream in my brain that if I actually had my 4 boxes of DC Silver Age at your flea market, I would probably make a couple of G's out of those 4 short boxes, just on the higher grade stuff that are in there. But here in Central PA, very few looks, you know.
The flea market I really want to get to because there's so many good reviews on it is Elephant's Trunk.
I heard about that. Where's that?
I want to say it's Maryland or Delaware, but it is a mega flea market. It's like Stormville in New York. It's a mega flea market, so I definitely want to get there.
My in-laws live in Port St. Lucie. There's one 2 hours north of her. It's like a Air Force base, and it is massive. It is like, it's the biggest thing. I gotta find their website. It is massive. I've never seen anything like it. You need 2 days to do it. Like you have to go there, spend the night, and then go for some more.
Is it one of those ones that's like just once a year or once a
No,
quarter?
I think it's every Saturday.
Like oh wow.
Yeah.
Because that Stormville is only once a month or something, right?
Yeah,
once a month for only several months out of the year.
Yeah.
They close for the winter.
Elephant's Trunk is in New Milford, Connecticut.
Oh, it's in Connecticut. That's not that far. 2 hours.
No, it's probably worth the
Interesting,
drive,
too. It's only a 6-hour flea market, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sundays. 8 a.m. is actually kind of late, too, for a lot of flea
Is it
markets.
weekly?
Elephant Trunk is in Connecticut.
Looks like it, Chris. Or at least,
weekly?
according to Google listing, but how accurate that might not be that accurate.
Road trip. Americana Forever. Is it worth going to?
Americana Forever?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some really good ones.
Let's see. It looks like it is weekly.
Weekly. And Stormville, when's Stormville again?
I don't know when the last one. It might be coming up.
Yeah. I got to try it once. I always like you're going through a lot of stuff at Stormville. There's a lot of comic and toy guys.
There's a lot there.
So Elephant Trunk, you can get 5:30 a.m. early admission for $20 as a buyer.
Oh, as a buyer.
You can get, you have to pay. It's $3 to actually go to the flea market.
Oh, kidding me?
It's 7 a.m. It's $10.
That's a
5:30
road trip.
$20.
You gotta pay to get into a flea market? That is
Prepaid
the most
tickets will grant you
un-American
first
thing.
access rights to the field. Cash is accepted after initial rush of prepaid buyers have entered the field. It's a damn Easter egg hunt. That's what it is.
Wow. You gotta
The
pay
gates
$23.
to the parking lot open at 4:15 a.m. The gates to the field open at 4:30 a.m.
Sounds like a poop show.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Nice.
You
I
like that?
bet they sell out.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm gonna join the ranks of Dolphin Chris over there when I get that collection.
Yo, it's 7 to 2. It says all
around.
vendors must stay in their space. Early departure is strictly prohibited.
What? This is like
too many rules for a flea
That's a
market.
lot.
At
of rules.
3:30 p.m., vendors must be off the field and ensure their space is completely clean of all trash and merchandise.
And then you go to Meadowlands, and then you just see this bulldozer picking up all the garbage, and they just put it in
I cannot believe there's this many rules.
That's a lot of rules for a flea market. Might
you
be
do
still
not
worth.
comply,
I'll take the drive. I'd
run
definitely
pokey.
check it out.
I
Have you
have to
guys-
go at least once.
Yeah,
Have you guys gone to Punk Rock Flea Market in Philly?
yeah, I love it.
I never been.
There's a weekly too. It's in not Easton. It's by New Hope. There's a
Yeah,
punk,
Jimmy and I used to sell at the Punk Rock Flea Market, and
Wasn't it in Lawrenceville? Or not Lawrenceville, Lambertville?
That's
they have-
that's
they-
the week. That's
they-
the weekly one, not the Philly one.
They do Philly. Chris happens twice a year, so they do
Yeah.
a holiday one and then they do a summer one. It is 250 vendors.
Yeah, it's
on,
cool.
on Friday and a different 250 vendors on Saturday.
Wow.
Jimmy and I sold one time in probably like 2014, and there was a dude there with a house clean out that was just comics, and neither of us were really
Oh.
buying at that point in time, and we're selling. This kid comes up to our table with a ASM 129. I think he paid $40 for it. Friggin' First Punisher paid $40 for it. It wasn't perfect. We saw it, but at the same time, $40. Like, yeah, I remember it being crazy, like ravenous down at this dude's table. Now you're gonna see all kinds of stuff there. You're a lot of graphic designers.
But I like the
different
punk rock
bands.
flea market with just like local artists and too. I like the flavor of it. It's just
Yeah.
it's different.
It was
I
always
like
really
it.
cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Now they charge $3 for that too. It's
What?
Indoor. It's indoor, but they pay off like it's run by the big independent sponsors.
250 vendors indoors?
Yeah, 250 vendors.
I don't remember that one then. Maybe I didn't go to that one.
Yeah, so it was in when we were doing it. It was in a defunct FedEx terminal.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Is this coming up?
Yeah, I'm
did
gonna
it
look
pass
right
already?
now.
and probably the next one I guess would probably be Christmas. Chris.
See, that's the one in Trenton. That's the one that I go to.
Yeah, Trenton I think does it more often than.
Well, it's weekly, I think. Because that's just like, I remember just stopping them around. I was like, oh, there. I just stop in and walk. It's the same people over and over again, though. That one doesn't change.
So the next Philly one is September 10th and 11th.
Huh. Oh, wow. That's crazy looking.
You see it?
Yeah, I see the inside. It's a lot of clothes, like a lot of vintage clothes and.
A lot of vintage clothes, a lot of record distribution, a lot of artists.
See, this does kind of remind me of the punk rock flea market in Trenton too. It's just that kind of like, people selling their artwork and.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of like people that make their own T-shirts and stickers and.
Yeah, Jimmy and I used to have our heat press, and we'd have all the letters, and we would
Yeah.
just do like, you come up and you just say whatever you want. We'll just quickly.
Your name
do what-
here.
Yeah. I'll never forget this dude. The dude who ran the flea market, who runs the punk rock flea market, came up to us, and had a shirt made of like one of his street team kids. Like I forget, it said it's a knucklehead or something like that.
Yeah.
And he puts it on, and then that kid walks over, and he's just standing there until finally the kid's like, "What does your shirt say?" And then that kid paid us to make a shirt that said that the other guy was an a-hole or whatever. So it was pretty funny.
Chris, are you gonna do September after August?
Might take a break on September.
I think I am too. I think I want it because by then I'll have enough for Comic-Con. I might want to go into buying mode.
Yeah, that's
See,
what
you're
I'm
lucky.
thinking,
You
too.
get to walk around. Your dad watches the table. I'm stuck. I can't do nothing. There's so much. As soon as his dad is setting up and he's already done 3 laps, and I'm like, damn it. I'm missing out on all the good stuff. Like when you're setting up, there's those flashlight guys. I know the one guy with the backpack who wears that. He wears a gaiter, not a mask. He's just walking around with a military backpack and a flashlight, and he's already been through everything.
Yep.
He's there.
I can never get ahead of that guy, no matter how hard I try.
But you know the funny thing is, he's never once stopped at my. He's a comic guy. He's never came to my table except for one time. I struck up a conversation with him, and then he came over to talk. He still never went through my boxes, and he's a comic guy.
That's what he's buying. He's buying
weird.
comics.
Yeah, I guess he just figures that I priced my stuff, even though I priced it very fairly. It's priced. It's not like
he's always going through the garbage bin.
yeah, he wants the garbage. So I always say if I see him with a plastic bag, I was like, "What'd you get?"
He's the guy. I think the word on the street is he pulled out an ASM 361 right before me. Like he was flipping through one long box, got through it. He pulled out the 361. I found the 362 and the 363 in the same box.
He was the guy,
but
because Hernando is the one who got the 300. That's the
Right.
one where Erod just missed it, and Will is the one who's like, he just got it for $1. $1 for an ASM 300. I already saw it too. I think he wants me to press it for him.
and the boxes we pulled them out, it was 2 for $5, so the guy got it for $2.50.
That's crazy. They're there, man.
Chris, you got it. Your ASM 362 the other day was a second print, that silver background.
Yes, I got a lot of comments confirming that. I wasn't sure what it was, and he had it thrown in his dollar box, so I was like, I don't know what it really is, but
I buy those
I just
all the
bought the
time.
362, the first print, and I was like, it's not that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 362 is probably as equivalent. The second print's probably worth as much as the first print.
Yeah,
Second
that's what I
print's
found
like
out through
$20,
research. Yeah, it's
right?
pretty
The
interesting.
361, the first appearance, the second print is really coming on, and it's almost like neck and neck with the first print now too.
The
a weird
361,
one.
that's a book that I actually bought at a card show. I got it for a pretty good discounted price too. But I found that at the one of the Sea Caucus shows that they had sports cards.
Yeah, that's that. Even the toy show, there was that guy Chris. He had a bunch of boxes over on the side by the concession stand. He was doing a clean out. He had a lot of nice books in there. Everything was like super cheap, price to sell. I don't know. They're out there. Gotta find them.
Got to do a little digging.
Gotta dig.
Gotta get
It's
your hands dirty.
it's just so competitive here. That's the crazy part. This
That
area
is
is
part of
just
the problem.
tough. I don't know.
But
What's up,
I
Joe?
I think people like us, I think we're making a name for Meadowlands Flea Market right now.
We are. No, it's good. Between you and me, and even, well, Eddie doesn't like to tell everybody that he goes to Meadowlands.
I know.
You
He's
notice
very
that?
secretive.
Yeah, Erod, whenever he's like, I got it at my local flea market, he never
Yeah.
says Meadowlands. He just doesn't want to and he, I got to tell you, Eddie comes way too late. By the time Eddie rolls around at like 9:30, I was like, dude, it's gone. All the good stuff is long gone. He still manages to find
he's at
things.
the show. I catch him at the shows before I get there, so he's there early for the shows. But I guess
Yeah.
the flea market, he just slacks off on it.
Yeah, it's funny. Even like Hernando, I still don't know if it's Hernando or Fernando. I asked him. I was like, because Will calls him Hernando and I called him Fernando. But even he's getting there too late. I was like, dude, what are you doing? It's like 10 o'clock. You already missed everything. He's like, I know. But then again, he went to.
You guys should just call him Jernando.
I
That's,
could.
the
We
letter
could do
in
that.
between the F and H. So, then split the difference.
Joe's asking us what we think about the Yankees moves this week. Are you guys paying attention to the baseball? I'm very sad Jordan Montgomery got traded.
I do, but not to the extent that I would know about relievers or anything like that.
Well, the first guy they got, Benintendi, hasn't hit a damn thing yet. He's striking out. He's like Joey Gallo 2.0, but he'll come around. But I can't stand that they traded away our only lefty starter for a guy who's won't even see until September because he's hurt, and he's an outfielder. We have enough outfielders. He's a bum, Joe says. You're right. He's a bum.
He's a bum.
He's a bum. And I'm really surprised the Mets didn't pull the trigger on Contreras. What are they doing? Chris, you're a Yankee fan, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I watch playoffs. That's pretty much it. I
Gotcha.
don't watch too much baseball.
And Crumbs, you don't watch baseball either. I'm the only sports guy here? What's the matter with you people?
I watch sports.
Do you,
I'm football or nothing.
There was a curse put on the Phillies last night. Somebody was like, they're 8 games over 500 for the first time since like 2016. Then they got rocked by the Braves. It's like, well, we're not 8 games over 500 anymore.
Braves are so good, though. I mean, that's tough. Braves are really good right now. Aaron Judge will be the American League MVP.
He's already the American League MVP.
I mean, according to the Yankee fans.
I
can't imagine Ohtani or somebody or Yordan Alvarez like being as good as a year. Alvarez is killing the ball too, though. Depends on what the Astros do.
It's just, Judge's RBI and home run total is getting a little crazy at this point, though.
So much fun to watch.
Him hitting like 2 per night.
2 per night.
It's crazy.
They say that on the ticket.
He is 10 home runs clear of the second highest home run total in Major League Baseball right now.
Yordan's second, right?
No, Kyle Schwarber's second.
In the MLB, yeah. Richard, I don't go to Englishtown only because it's too dusty. Every time I had ever set up there, everything is just covered in red dust. It's horrible for sports.
Is that because
like
monster trucks are still jumping and stuff like that in the background?
There's a section where it's paved, but those are like, they sell socks and purses and stuff. And then when you get into like the actual flea market, all it is just like a rocky, dusty path, and everybody's just shuffling their feet, and it just gets everywhere. It's in your truck. It's everywhere. It's horrible.
$10 to set up.
It is cheap to set up, though. Yeah, I know.
How much is it? $5?
10?
I think they bumped it up to 10.
Yeah, it's 10. Joe, where's my subscription box? I'll put something together for you. I do have some stuff. I've been pulling Emmitt Smith and Jackie Robinson and 14 for 2 8-foot tables.
Good
right, so
Lord,
they do a I mean,
for
beats what we're spending at
killer
Meadowlands
deal.
at $70 a pop. But I mean, like, we make our money back. It's not like we never do.
That's crazy.
And then there's the foot. You wouldn't do Meadowlands?
No, I wouldn't make my money back.
Yeah, you would. I think
I
you
don't
would.
know. I think Chris's dad, Chris, is set. He's selling basically the same thing as you are, like toys and stuff like that. I mean, he's got a little bit more variety. You're strictly Star Wars, but I think you would probably do a couple $100.
Chris, I did like the one time I
would test those waters. I would test those waters once I got that comic collection that came in. At least there would be more there a little more meat on the bone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can always, like, I don't know, like right now my booth is packed, but whenever I got rid of some stuff, like you can always like grab the corner like Jason and Jimmy did that one time, just set up a little 6-footer in the corner. The spots are so big. They're huge.
Yeah, I had a card table. I had 3 short boxes that one day, and I think I did like almost $500 from 3 short boxes. So
yeah,
it was certainly worth it the day that I went.
Yep.
I sold this Chris some comics that day. I think you and your dad bought some X-Men books or something like that.
Yep, I remember.
You had some good stuff in
Were
the
you then
beginning.
featured on YouTube?
I was featured on YouTube. Erod did his entire video on what he bought for me that day.
Erod bought the Newsstand Thundercats, and he bought some nice books. And it showed up in his sale like a week later.
Yeah. He had amazing recall of what the story that I recounted to him too, except I didn't tell him about the Boys and Girls Club of Delaware. But
no, you didn't.
That's our story.
That's our story. It's strictly trademark.
That's reserved for
trademark
this
Junkyard Breaks. That's funny. For anybody who missed that chat from way back when, Jason bought an amazing collection, but there were spots, really big spots missing in runs, and he found out half the collection was donated to the Delaware Boys and Girls Club. But what would you have gotten? I forgot.
So like it was mostly titles, like all the Thor books that would have been in the same vein were gone.
Yeah.
So you're talking about like First Beta Ray and stuff like that.
That's right, because Beta Ray was one.
Well, not all the. No, I still had all. I mean, I had all the key GI Joe books. They were just beat up a little bit more because he read them. What was it? ASM was there, but only certain ASM thought. So I did get 300.
You missed Carnage. I remember that.
But none of the. There was gaps where First Hobgoblin would be. There was gaps where. There was gaps where 252, the first black suit was. There was no Secret Wars at all, which I guarantee all the Secret Wars would have been in that collection.
Yep.
So some kid at the Blind Sisters of Four had this, a year before I did, and stuff like that. So
you could have just bought one and put all that to bed.
Yeah, but I did. I just did. I did last Friday.
I mean, it's a nice story. How long have we been talking about this? For a year and a half. You've been yearning for that book.
Now I got it. It came to me.
There you go. All right, boys.
Swaggle He's always Swaggle Hoss talking about the book finding you, and so that's what I employed to find this book.
Well, Chris, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome to keep joining us if you want to. I know we'll have Jimmy back probably next week, and we can do our animated old-time tournament throwdown. Now we'll have 5 people, so we won't have ties.
That's true.
Because you can't have ties.
Somehow Jimmy's still going to want Winter Soldier to win an animated thing, even though it's a live-action movie.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to roll, because I'm not even sure what my favorite animated movie of all time is. I know like my top 5, but, because I'm one vote, you guys are going to go your way. So anything can happen.
That's true. Anything can happen.
I got to do some research for this list.
So wait, what are we doing? We're doing top 5?
I can. No. It'll be a bracket.
Dolph will have like all 216.
Oh, it's going to be a bracket challenge.
Chris,
the Star Wars characters.
Chris, I'll send exactly just like the Star Wars characters. Chris, I'll send you the link to the bracket right now. Yeah, not only that, there are so many because there's 175 entrants. There's a lot of buys in the second round already. Like, Up is already in round 2. So is Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon. They're already in round 2.
Lilo and Stitch got a buy.
Lilo and Stitch got a buy.
Dang,
Yeah, but so did Polar Express. It did not deserve a buy.
No, Polar Express. No.
All right, let's see. Open new tab.
Although it was kind of groundbreaking in its.
It's creep show, man. That movie's so creepy to watch.
Listen, you have to get through a creep show to get to the better stuff. They got to get through a creepy movie before they leapfrog and get to the better stuff.
Chris, did you ever see Polar Express?
Yes.
Of course. What do you think of it? It's creepy.
Although, you know what's funny? I recently watched Toy Story with the kids, and it is crazy looking back on Toy Story 1 how inferior the animation is than Toy Story 2. I was like, holy crap, I did not notice this when I was, a kid watching Toy Story 1. I just thought it was bonkers that it looked awesome at that point in time.
Right. Chris, I just sent you the link. I'll send it to you guys, too, if you wanted to check out the challenge. I can always re-roll the rankings, too, but, yeah, there's some good ones.
Yeah, I want to see what how many I haven't seen.
I bet you've seen more than you think you have.
Probably.
There's 175 total.
173.
173.
We have a running joke at my job where people just give me movie titles and I just say no, I haven't seen it.
I do that with somebody I work with, and I'm like running through like the 20 greatest movies of all time. Like, never heard of it. Like, you haven't seen Indiana Jones? Any of them?
Never heard of it.
Nope.
I like it better that they'd be never heard of it.
Yeah, that's like a gut punch on some of these. Like, you've never heard. Like, well, like your brother refuses to watch The Godfather. That kills me.
I've never watched The Godfather either.
What?
I never watched it. I've never watched a Jurassic Park movie.
Really? Wow.
That's crazy because there's so many of those.
Is that the one that your coworkers hit you for the worst? Is Jurassic Park, or what's the one they're like, you've got to be kidding me?
Well, Jurassic Park took my family by surprise, like, because everybody was sitting around the TV watching the new one, and I was like, I don't get any of these references, and it was like it was like one of those
wow.
But Godfather, it's like I
can understand Godfather though.
And I just say, yeah, I've seen it just to avoid a fight.
But Godfather's from the 70s. How old are you? 23, 24?
Yeah, but I'm better with older movies than stuff that's been newer stuff, personally.
I got you.
That's why when I'm at work and working with other people my age, they're like asking me all these movies, and I'm like, no, I don't watch those kind of movies.
They're like, you haven't seen Frozen?
Haven't seen and don't want to see.
But then you could say, haven't you seen the 1945 Godzilla, right? Like, because you like those old horror movies, right?
You're like Orson Welles or not Orson Welles?
I asked him if have you ever watched the silent movie Phantom of the Opera? I get eye rolls on that.
So you got him back. Dr. Caligari?
Yeah, that one is a great one.
You ain't get down with Lon Chaney?
Yeah. Yep. All right, so we'll do this next week.
Yeah,
well, we should have Jimmy, right? Jimmy will be back next week.
Jimmy should be back next week, yeah.
All right. Depending on sleep patterns, I guess, right?
It's true, yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Good night, Internet.
It's been a nice chat. Lisa, if you're still here, send me an email and I'll help you out as best I can. And thanks everybody else.
Bye guys. Hope to see you Saturday, Dolph. Hopefully it doesn't rain.
Hopefully it doesn't rain, and you definitely will see me Saturday if it doesn't. We're all in now. All right, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.